Now, former Bangladeshi Prime Minister and opposition leader Khaleda Zia has been sentenced to 7 years in jail for corruption. The 72-year-old was convicted of misappropriating more than $300,000 from a charity. In February, she was given a 5-year prison term on another charge, the theft of money from an orphanage. Zia says all the charges are aimed at keeping her out of politics, with elections due in December. Tanveer Chowdhury joins us now live from the capital, Dhaka. So I guess this means she's out of the running for December's elections, first of all, right?
Well, it's very significant. This is the second conviction in dozens of cases she's still facing. What it means essentially under the Constitution, anybody convicted of 2 years on immoral crime is ineligible to run for election. However, that also depends on the Election Commission. They have the final say-so. But it looks pretty much challenging for the Khaleda Zia to run for election or for running for campaign only a few months away. Her party looks at her very symbolically. Both the parties in Bangladesh pretty much run by dynastic politics, and their presence is very symbolic for the general population. Even if she files for appeal, the court process usually delays this process, and this end up could be after the election, even if she gets bail. So the chances are for getting bail from the higher court is also very limited, at least before the election. That would put the opposition party, Bangladesh Nationalist Party, in a very challenging position, even though they're geared up for the election, but they haven't announced whether they'll run for the election. However, they came up with an announcement today that they'll have a nationwide protest tomorrow all across the country in protest for this conviction.
You know, how is the opposition officially reacting so far?
Sammy? Well, the opposition says these cases are very much politically motivated. They went on to say that even the Chief Justice, the last Chief Justice, S.K. Sinha, who was forced out of the court and he's now in exile in America, who recently wrote a book highly critical of the government interference in the judicial system, they point that out, that this is obviously a very politically motivated case. Although they have formed a 20-party alliance with a very prominent jurist and a constitutional lawyer, now they're geared up for the election, but they haven't announced. They keep saying they need an interim government, one of the key demands. Another key demand is that the opposition leader Khaleda has to be out of the prison if they want to participate in the election. Both the parties, the ruling party and the opposition, are in a very confrontational mood. Political tension is high in the country. People are very apprehensive about the election. If it at all happens, is there going to be turmoil? Most people want some sort of very credible, free and fair election. That is what the general public wants. We will see how things roll down the road, whether the party will participate without Prime Minister Khaleda Zia is the key question right now.
All right, thanks so much. Tanveer Chowdhury there.